Welcome back everybody to Suzuka F4. We are lining up 6th on the grid for this race, skipping qualifying as the 5 red lights are about to go out. Gonna hope you get a good start here. And we're all away. A lot of tire smoke as everybody leaves the line. Pretty decent exit, nothing to write home about, nothing terrible. Didn't lose a place, didn't gain a place, trying to go on the outside of the Red Bull car here. Not really gonna work out for us, so not really any space to go down the inside of turn 1. Don't lose any positions, don't gain any. A little bit close to the back here, but no problems. I can hear contact, but I can't see it. You can roll back a few seconds. An onboard shot, not bad. No pressure behind, really. Back in front. We're pretty close to the car in front, actually. As he has a huge slide on the outside. Can we get past him? Really close. No dice, though. I could back off. You gotta be really careful in these races. If you lose the position, you're gonna lose 5 positions. And we will see what that means later in this video with several examples. So a fair bit of pressure behind, but we have an opportunity to make a move ahead here. And if we get a good exit, and they're fighting behind, they're side by side, which is great for me, as the green car throws a defensive shape. We're going to sprint down the main straight onto lap 2. We're alongside, rear wheel to front wheel. Can we go down turn 1 to make a move happen? Oh, as the Red Bull car goes really slow, kind of checks them up, and we have to go wide to avoid any kind of accident. I was more afraid. And then, whoa, we get hit from behind, losing, what is that, another 5 positions? That's what I'm talking about here. You lose 1 position, you go off the road once, you have a little spin, you're going to lose 5 positions. Let's roll it back to what happened here. Again, I just went wide. I was scared, didn't want to get hit. Ran right onto the grass. I came back on, and I kind of feel like he just ran me off the road there. Didn't give me the space, but oh well. Happens. But now we have a lot of work to make up. Back onto the onboard cockpit. Went for a more cinematic kind of camera here in the replay. I think it worked out pretty well. And you see we got a lot of cars ahead. 4 in our direct view and then 2 more just ahead of them. And we get a little bit of a wide entry as the Ferrari colored car ahead goes wide. Gain a position there, so that makes up 1 for free. Didn't have to work for it. That's always nice. Down the main straight. Huge conga line of cars. There we go, across the screen. Again, the slipstream around Suzuka, as I said in the last video, it's just non-existent for some reason. There's no slipstream. It's so minimal. You gain maybe a 10th or 2. Skipping ahead a little bit here. It's a little bit sunnier. The weather changes really rapidly at this circuit. I mean, it's overcast, broken clouds, I suppose, so it makes sense, but I'm not sure how much effect that has on the temperature of the track with how rapidly it fluctuates. Checking behind us, we have the Ferrari car that spun off earlier. He is recovered, and he's right behind us, but we aren't too scared of him, as we are really close to the car ahead, gaining with the slipstream that I just had no effect. Jump on board with him. We're going down the inside here. Can we make something happen? Pretty clean. No contact. He gets ahead of us at the exit of turn 2. We're still alongside. He still has to think about us. Can I go around the outside of turn 3? Maybe. Yes. No. He comes back again. Getting pretty close, but keeping it very clean, which I appreciate. Still alongside. The Ferrari car behind. We sneak ahead into turn 6, and the Ferrari bumps him out of the way a little bit. And then, another netcode incident. There was no real contact. It just, the netcode just betrays him. Anyway, we got the position, and the threat of the Ferrari behind was, well, it was destroyed. As now we are shaping up to reclaim another position ahead of us. We've definitely got our work cut out for us. Just trying to take the best lines possible. He has a little bit of a squirrel. We get a pretty good line into turn 6. Can we get it? No. Into turn 7. Turn 8. Jump the curb. Try to get a better exit. It just doesn't really work. I try. I could have gotten the power a little bit earlier there. That was kind of one of my main issues, was that I just got on the power in turn 9 way too late. Anyway, we come down the main straight again, right behind him. Can we make something happen here? Into turn 1? No, too far back. You can't go for that kind of move. It's a bit of foreshadowing there. And we just can't seem to make a position here yet. But we are right behind him. He's looking in his mirrors. He's thinking about us, which means that eventually we'll make a mistake just like that, where he goes deep into the corner, allowing us to catch up in the next sequence of corners. But he's able to maintain his position through turn 6 again. and we just can't quite make anything out of it. Jump the curb again, not quite as aggressively this time. Stay off the grass at the exit of turn 9. Nope, we touch it just a little bit. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Jumping ahead a lap here, and he's still just hanging in front of us. But we're really close. We're really close. If we stick to him here, we'll make a mistake. Just like that. Hits the grass on the outside, gets a little bit squirrely, has to get off the power. The Publix car goes behind us as we got really close to the wall there. No contact with anything, thankfully. We're still running a clean race. And now, checking behind us, he's close. He's pretty close. He's not going to go for a move, though. That would be pretty insane. And we've managed to keep the position. And replaying 2 of the, I think it was 5 that we lost. We were P6, so that dropped us down to, what, like P11? Now I think we're about P9, so not terrible. Not great. As the car ahead, as you saw there, actually goes off, and the Publix car goes in front of us as we go off, so a bit of a disaster for us. We keep ahead of him. On the main straight, we actually got a much better exit, and no real threat from behind, thankfully. But that could have gone pretty poorly and changed the entire face of this race. And here we have the car that was in front of the car in front of the car in front of me. And he has a big oversteer moment, and then another snap, and then he spins it all the way around, nearly collecting this car. Whoa, that was really close. Bit brave to just slam the throttle on with the car in front of me, but I didn't want to get going quickly. Fair enough, I suppose. Didn't hit anybody. Anyway, that's another position gain for us for free with no effort, which is nice. This is back on with us a little bit later. Just running our laps. And you see we're pretty far from the car in front, but behind there's a lot of pressure. 2 cars within touching distance. If we make a mistake, we're going to lose another 2, maybe even 3, maybe even 4 positions. Whoa, that's really close on the outside. Not the best exit onto turn 8 and turn 9. Thought we'd make it stick. We actually pull away on the main straight, thankfully, which relieves the pressure from behind. He's still there. We're still cognizant of it, but not a huge issue as there's a lapped car on the right side. Thankfully, stays on the inside of the pit exit, as you're supposed to do, of course. And he gets close in turn 2, but again, no real threat. We're just trying to run our line and drive safe, drive clean, as we have a little bit of an oversteer snap and then another one. During this portion of the race, as the Publix car actually flies by us, and we tuck in behind him, get a little bit of a narrower exit, we actually get a lot of power onto the pit straight, and we're able to really press the throttle down, get right behind him. A lot of overspeed as we pull up to the inside of the line, get a good overlap. This should be a pretty clean moving to turn 1. Shooting ahead, securing the position. So we made a mistake, lost the position, but we got it back again. So not the end of the world, not ideal. We've lost even more time with the car ahead, which is going to come back and bite us as the Publix car gets really close to us again, really nipping at our back. Just trying to be careful here. But it really felt like at this part of the race, the tires just went off for some reason. We'll see this for a lot of other cars, as the car ahead of us, as you see there, actually has a wide moment. And the Publix car lifted off more than we did, but that is another position gained for free. I think we're back up into 6th at this point, maybe a little bit higher, maybe 7th, which would be lower, I suppose, but you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, things are going pretty well at this point, just running our lines, but as you can see, we've really lost contact with the cars ahead. They're still there as we have another oversteer moment on the exit of 6. Not what you want to see. And again, to look at the steering, it's so loose, just trying to run the rears on me. I probably should have moved the brake bias, but I was too focused on just running a clean race at this point. As we've seen, the cost of making a mistake is losing 2, 3, 4 positions, and I was not prepared to do that if I could help it. So it really seemed like just running a clean race was one of the most important things that you could do for gaining positions, gaining iRating. Of course, we've had a few bumps, a few off tracks, so the SR is going to take a little bit of a hit, but we're not racing for SR, we're racing for fun. As you see the Red Bull livery car ahead, he's pretty close, but we are approaching, I think this is the penultimate lap here. It's going to be really tough. it's going to be really tough to make any kind of move happen. He's really far. We're closing, but there's not much time left in the race. Maybe a couple of laps. I'm going to skip that lap. I think this is coming on to the final lap. He has a big snap on the exit of 9, which gives us the overspeed. We're actually quite close to him. We're probably getting a little bit of slipstream benefit from him here. Goes to the inside. He's not going to break the toe. It's really easy to follow from that distance, especially when they're just so little. He tries to weave again. We go up the outside. Just can't make it work. It's not going to happen. But he goes wide. The exit of turn 2. Makes something happen with that. We're alongside. He gets a good line. We stay on the outside. I just don't want to crash, to be honest. That would ruin all the effort we've put into this race so far. So didn't want to crash. There's a little bit of a wiggle, but nothing comes of it. And again, exit of turn 6. He's a little bit slow, but nothing really comes of it. And we're hoping to have some kind of mistake from him here as he goes a little bit wide, but it's not really going to come to anything. We're quite close, but unfortunately, this is the end of the race. It was not meant to be, but it was a great race. It was a lot of fun. Converting a P6 start to a P4 finish, not a bad result at all. We'll see what happens in the next race. It's a little bit more chaotic, let's say. On to the second race of today's video, although this race actually took place before the last race that you just watched, so if you see, my lines will be a little bit less perfect, a little bit slower through turn 9, which is where most of my improvement came from, but should still be pretty okay for a qualifying lap at least. Using a lot of the curb, not getting oversteer, not quite neutral steering, could be a little bit more aggressive, but it's a pretty fine margin. And we saw last race that once you make 1 or 2 slides, your tires just seem to go off for the next few corners, and you're just absolutely lost with oversteer. And you lose so much time just waiting for the grip to come back to you. So, not a horrible lap, but it's only good enough for P9 in this race. So, quite slow compared to the average of the field. It was a very tough lobby, this one, and we're going to see why in a second here. I think the SOF was about 2,500. As we get ready for the lights to go out once more for this race, the number 2 car next to us is, I believe, actually Enzo Fittipaldi. It was the Enzo Fittipaldi 4 account, which I looked online, appears to be the real person, so that was cool. He will feature in this race pretty heavily, actually, so keep an eye on that car as we get a alright launch. Nothing goes wrong. We're all single file down the road, of course. It's really hard to go side by side here and maintain the momentum, so of course on lap 1, we want to try and keep it clean. That being said, lap 1 is also the best time to make up positions, so you have to balance that hawkish nature with keeping it on the road and being steady. But on the first lap, pretty calm. Such a fast lap around here. Crazy how fast it gets done. You get so proficient at all the corners so quickly. And that's part of what made this track so fun, is that everybody got really good at it really quickly. So it became a race of extremely fine margins. If you made the slightest mistake, as you saw in the last video, you just lose 4 positions. As we get taken down the inside, actually, by the number 7 car there. That was a great move. I'm able to maintain alongside it for a little while, keep the front wing ahead, actually alongside there entirely, but just lose out, unfortunately, in the turn 4 sequence. Turn 5, now turn 6, just losing out. There's a battle ahead, but nothing really comes of it. And yeah, so now I think we are in P10, or maybe P9 again. Either way, we're pretty far down the order. Not a great result as we hit the grass, lose some speed. It's not what you want to do, obviously. Jumping ahead a little bit here, you can see that we're still in touch with the car ahead, but we're really getting sniffed from the car behind, the number 13. And over the course of the race, we are slowly going to lose touch with the number 7 ahead of us, and the 13 will come into play more and more and more. Down the pit straight again. Look at the slipstream. It's basically non-existent. We're actually pretty close to the 7. Look for a move. I wasn't going to actually go for it, but you know, you have to make them look in their mirrors at least. As we almost get clipped from behind by the 13, but thankfully doesn't hit us. We go a little bit wide on the exit of 2. Not really a problem. But you can see now, already, we're losing touch with the car ahead. And very slowly, but very surely, being enveloped by the car behind. Down turn 1 again. Gets pretty good run. I mean, that was one of my weak points, I feel like, in this race, was that for a long time, as I go wide again on the exit of 2, I just wasn't very confident into turn 1. There was lots of time to be gained by just sending it, and I was not doing that. Here we have the Enzo Fittipaldi driver, supposedly, really close to the car ahead of him. I think this guy is currently in about P8. Again, running in the train, pretty close to us. He's ahead of us, though. And he looks up the inside. He's not going to go for the move, thankfully, but really close. Wow. Almost kissing the gearbox of the car ahead, almost pushing him forward. Honestly, it takes a fair amount of skill not to hit the car ahead when you're doing that. It's really easy just to keep the throttle pinned. As you can see, again, we're just losing the cars ahead. And the 13 car, no doubt he can smell blood in the water. He's waiting for us. As there's a bit of a move outside from the 7 ahead. Nothing comes of it. He's still too far away for us to do anything. As we're going to jump ahead here to Enzo once more. Down the inside, he throws a defensive, he goes for it over the curb, and they collide, taking both cars out. Thankfully, no terminal damage. Let's have another look at that. Crazy move. He goes to the inside, he's alongside in the corner, and then he just bungles over the curb and slams into him. I mean, I'd have to put the blame on Enzo for that one if I had to put the blame on anybody. Just a very ambitious move. Yes, he was alongside, but it's just such a tough corner to go screaming down the inside. Plus, he just ate the curb and lost control of the car. Just unfortunate. But again, look what I'm talking about here. He's just riding the back of the car ahead. And you gotta give him credit where it's due. I mean, it's really easy just to tap the throttle a little bit and send the guy ahead into a spin. But no, he sticks the throttle where it has to be. Look at that, around the inside. What a crazy move. His opponent goes around the outside. He goes around the inside. What is this? Spa, was it 2000? Schumacher and Hakkinen? Fantastic stuff. They're right alongside. Look at the tires. So close. They're going to intersect a little bit. Whoa. That's too close for comfort. But down the inside of turn 1 goes Enzo. And the car on his outside disappears as he takes the racing line. Secures the position. I mean, that was a fantastic move. That was really fun to watch. Back on board with me once more, hopping over the curb, going around the outside, taking the grass way too deep. Not supposed to do that. Up the inside goes the 13 car. He was hawking and hounding the entire race, and he finally got past. We're sticking right behind him, though. And we are gaining in the slipstream, but just not enough. And then he dives to the inside. I actually lifted off there. I was kind of scared of what he was doing. I didn't want to get hit, so I lifted off. Probably shouldn't have, but better safe than sorry, to be honest, is what I was thinking. But now we are a little bit alone once more. And here's the car ahead of the car ahead of me, if that makes sense. And again, oversteer, snap wide, over the curb, oversteer the other way, and he spins, just like in the last race. If you have one moment of oversteer, it just cascades. Goes the inside, whoa, almost takes out the car on the inside there, doesn't though. And you see, you make one mistake, and you're down 4 positions. Look at this, car on the inside. Oh my god, it's Enzo Fittipaldi again. Look at this, we got a 4-car battle into turn 1. What's going to happen? Didn't get a fantastic angle of this, to be honest, but not a lot really happens. Enzo got ahead of the number 7 car, and they are now in a 4-long battle. As here we are, again, just behind the 13, slowly getting cut off. I think I was losing most of it as he goes wide, hits the brakes, locks up. I actually go a little bit wide, but now I'm up the inside. Can we complete the move? Yes, we can, but he's really close. He's a threat for turn 1. Is he going to go up the inside? No, I'm going to cover the inside, force him around the outside. Where is he going to go? All the way around? Is he going to back off? Nope, he's gone. He's ahead. I get a launch off the curb. Doesn't really do any good for me, though. And I've lost the position again. just a little bit timid into turn 1. It's a little annoying when people just make you look silly around the outside like that, but it happens. You gotta learn somehow, right? A lot of cars behind. So many cars behind. If we spin off or make contact, we are going to be sent to the back of the pack. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And let me tell you, folks, with the price of gas, I need the 200 bucks. So, we're not going to make any mistakes. We're just going to run our lines, run our own race. If we make up positions, that's fantastic. But not exactly high expectations at this point. We've had a pretty crummy race so far. Down turn 1 again on the next lap. He's close-ish, but we're not able to make any kind of impression. And as you can see, Enzo Fittipaldi in the red, blue, and white car behind us is actually the car behind us now. He was ahead of us at the start of the race. Then he had his calamity at turn 1. Then he made those overtakes. And now he's the car behind me. And I was watching the Delta every single lap. He was closing every single lap, constantly. As he goes wide, the 13 again, we get close, try to stick the throttle all the way down. We run a little bit wide, not really a problem, but not quite close enough. As the race comes to an end, that's a P6 finish from a P9 start. And look at Enzo Fittipaldi going crazy. This is after the race is over. Chill out, bro. Anyway, not a bad race. It was pretty fun, both of them. Got some good iRating, some good safety rating, and most importantly, we had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun watching. Thanks for coming, thanks for sticking around, and I will see you in the next one next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.